And welcome back to Hood Aquatics. So today I'm going to show you guys how I started my first planted aquarium, and I hope this video helps you guys. So I had a massive piece of wood that I bought from a big fish tank, but I didn't have enough space for it, so I was just sitting down, sitting outside. So I'm like, let's cut it up and use some of that for the aquascape. So before you actually scape the tank, I usually just want to get a rough draft of what the wood is going to look like. Now, as you can see, there's no gravel, nothing in there yet. Just so you get kind of an idea. Now, it doesn't have to be your final product. You can change it as much as you want. But yeah, I just like to get kind of an idea of what it's going to look like.
Eternal.
So now after that is done, you want to start adding your gravel, or this place is actually soil. Now you want to put between 5 and 7 centimeters of gravel or soil inside the tank, just so they don't start floating and have enough space. And obviously you want to flatten, like you don't really have to, just I may find it a bit nicer if it's flattened out. Now after that, I kind of want to make it a bit more compact so I could use it a bit more without it going everywhere. So I used a bit of water. Now obviously I'm using a bottle here and it's not great. You should probably try to use a spray bottle. Just when I was filming this, I didn't have one, and I kind of wanted to set up the tank because I didn't want the plants to die. But yeah, anyway, so you want to get the gravel or soil a bit wet, just so it's a bit more compact and stays on the bottom. Now after that, you will want to start aquascaping. Now I actually had a bit of an issue here. I started aquascaping, it was all great. The thing is, once I started filling up the tank, my wood started to kind of float. Now if it's brand new wood, it's going to float. You want to try to submerge it, and then it just sinks by itself eventually. This one I already did submerge. Like, it wasn't a big fish tank for some time, but I guess I just had to put it underwater. So my fish tank didn't look the aquascape didn't look very similar to this. But yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to get like this so I didn't know it was gonna float. So I started setting it up just a little bit. Now over here I'm just going to show you guys how it was meant to look. Now actually, after I put in the plants, I tried to redo the same thing, and it just felt too crowded. So it's actually better it didn't end like that. Now when you're filling it up, you want to use like a plate or something just to block the flow, so you don't make the soil start getting all mixed up and making your water very brown and just dirty, full of dirt. So you want to pour it slowly onto a plate so it doesn't go everywhere. And it is a bit difficult, just telling you guys. Now after you're done, as you see, I'm trying to put my wood back in, but it's still kind of floating because I'm just trying to keep the perfect aquascape. But yeah, anyways, you want to keep you want to fill it up like around a quarter, maybe like very little, just so you could kind of get an idea for your plants, just so they don't sit on the gravel, so they kind of float, so you kind of know what it's gonna look like. Yeah, anyways, so there's different type of plants out there. These specific plants, they came like many in a little bunch, so I have to separate them. But there's some plants, let's say Anibius, which usually comes just like one instead of a bunch of little ones. So for that example, that one you don't have to separate. But these little ones, you will have to separate them from each other. Now after you finish separating them, it's time to put them in your aquarium. Now you kind of want to use tweezers here, just because if you use your fingers, it won't work as well. It's going to be actually a bit difficult, then they'll just float. So you want to kind of hold it with tweezers. Don't hold it too tight because you can maybe accidentally break off the plant. But hold it there and just stick it in, literally. And the dirt goes to the side, and then after, just let go. Take your tweezers, leave the plant in there, and it stays. It doesn't start coming up. So I started off with my red plants. I changed it up though very much after, but I just wanted to get it started, as I said before. Then I started with these really beautiful green plants. Now I'm not fully sure the names while I'm recording this, but I'll put them the names just in subtitles over here. Anyways, these are actually really beautiful plants, and they're really actually pretty easy to take care of. But Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna show you guys being a bit closer. You see I'm holding the tweezers, and I'm just sticking into the soil on the bottom. That's it. It's literally all you have to do. The thing is, you don't want to put it straight down. I'm actually going to show you guys a demonstration of animation I started made it that, well, I was kind of bored. Anyways, so you see you want to put it a bit in a slant, not just straight up. Also, I got this idea from the King of DIY. If you don't know, you should really go check out his channel. Anyways, to put the plant next to the glass, so you can see how the plant's doing. If the roots are growing, well, then it's great. Now, after you got all your plants in, you want to start adding some, like pretty much filling up the tank. So over here, I'm filling up the tank again with a plate, obviously, and I'm having a bit of a hard time. Yeah, just fill up your tank. It should not be that difficult. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but all my water started floating and it pulled it all my plants, which was very annoying. Now, I didn't have to wait just because I'm like used my old filter from a different aquarium, so I was able to add fish immediately. Now, if it's a brand new tank, obviously you should do the nitrogen cycle before. But over here, it's beneficial bacteria already in the filter, so it's not that bad. Obviously, you should not. It's like doing a 100% water change. Obviously, it's not that great to do a 100% water change, but if you do it once in a while to change the tank, it's 100% okay. So as you can tell, I'm actually acclimating all my fish just to their new environment, just because the temperature was a bit off, because it was kind of new water. But yeah, I acclimated them and they all did really well. Just released them and I didn't have any big problems.
Miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are. Don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your star.
So now that you finished setting up the tank, you're gonna have to take care of it. You're gonna have to add two stuff. One of them is, or just get a CO2 tank and put in your tank, or just because I don't want to put a CO2 tank right now, I just have carbon dioxide, or it's just in a little thing, or also known as CO2, and I just add it to the tank once a day to help the plant do photosynthesis. Now, also, you're gonna have to add something called fertilizer to help the plants grow better. Now, this one I just add once a week. I'm showing you guys a product just personally that I use. You don't have to use them. It's not sponsored. Just for me, they're working really well at the moment. Now, to show you guys what happened like a week later. As you can see, all the plants are doing great, and it looks very different. But yeah, I hope this video helped you guys with your first planted aquarium, and see y'all next time. Guys, so I forgot to tell you guys about one more thing you know about planted aquariums. It's the lighting. Well, you can't just use any light. Like I can show you in this fish tank, I have just a regular light. Let me show you. See, just regular lights. Instead, and this is great for like a Nubius if you want, because they need a bit of less light. So just saying, Nubius are actually a bit more stronger plants. So if you want a stronger plant, don't want to do all the soil and stuff, well, Nubius is great. But as you see over here is like a light. It's a bit different, has a bit of different colors, maybe a bit stronger. And you want to keep on for like 5 hours a day. So personally, I just keep a timer here, just because it's like hard to remember how much each time. Also in this tank, I also have one for planted aquarium, just a bit of a stronger light. And also over here, you have a timer. But anyways, so you want to have it for like 5 hours a day, and then so just waiting to start, and then little bit like upgrade it to like 6 hours, like 7 hours even. That's because if you keep it on for too long, you get that algae.
Mama told me before you leave.